This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, see, every application is going to have some rule sets being referred in the application rule form. So when the rule sets are being referred, you can see the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4. Maybe you add more 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And there is a built-on application. If you go to built-on application also, you have similar way rule sets are being defined. Again, there is a built-on application until Pega rules process commander, which has n number of rule sets. Okay, don't think about classes, only think about rule set perspective. Class inheritance we already understood. In the way of rule set inheritance here, the inheritance is like this. This is the current rule set for the current application. First number one is current rule set. Second one is next level. Third one is next level, and fourth one is next to next to next. Understand? Like inheritance, if you are going to say this is current rule set 1, the same way the numbers are given. 2 means if the rule is not there in first rule set, then it will look into second rule set. Rule is not there in second rule set, then it will look into third, fourth. Fourth also the rule is not there which you are expecting. Then it will go to parent application rule sets. Again the order proceeds. Parent to parent, parent to parent. Understand everyone? Now imagine you are executing a flow. Don't bother about which class and where. Only think about rule sets. You are executing one flow and there is a flow action which is being requested in the flow. Okay, when the flow is executed, flow action is being displayed in the UI. That flow action is there in implementation rule set as well as framework rule sets. The flow you executed is from implementation application. Then which one will be picked? Implementation rule sets will be picked. In the implementation application rule sets also, the flow action is there in implementation rule set, implementation integration rule set, organization rule set, organization. All these 4 rule sets, same flow action is there. Which one will be picked? First rule set will be picked. Okay. If you go to operator rule form, here you see an option called profile. Go to profile. Operator profile is going to tell the same. Whenever this operator is going to log into PRPC, and if he is going to request for any rule during the execution, the rule sets that are going to be looked at for the rules will be in this order. Understand? Everyone clear? First one I will tell you in few minutes. Remaining you see. First implementation application integration, organization integration, framework integration. After framework integration, again organization rule sets it will not look at. What is the, even though, look at here, even though in the framework application you have again organization rule sets here, it will not look into these 2 rule sets. What is the reason? It has already looked into those 2 as part of implementation. What is the structure? Implementation, organization, and then framework. In the class inheritance also same, right? First your application classes, organization class, not there, then framework application classes, and further OOTB application classes. Same way rule sets also. Your application rule sets, organization rule sets, framework rule sets. Further no need to look into organization rule sets because already it has looked into organization rule sets previously. And OOTB rule sets it will go to. The same order is been given in the operator profile, which you can see here. Okay, I will explain you about this rule set in few minutes. Understand everyone so far? Online resources. So I will tell you about further about rule set after we complete inheritance concept. Okay, now in the rule sets you see application rule sets and framework application organization rule set and framework application rule set, OOTB rule sets. There is another rule set mentioned here by name, devimpl@lic.com. What is this devimpl@lic.com? Operator ID, the operator ID with which you logged in. Okay, now look at here. See, but do you have any such rule set created? There is no rule set, but rule set name it is showing operator ID. So whenever an operator log into PRPC, process commander is going to create a virtual rule set. What is that? Virtual meaning? Virtual meaning?
Cannot be visible.
Temporary. Virtual plus temporary means, virtual plus temporary means it will not be referred in the applications like a physical rule sets. It will get created, it will get used. Once you log off, it will get vanished. Understand? So now look at here. I have so many rules that have been created so far. Okay, like flows, sections, and many things we have created. Okay, this is a section. This section is there in a rule set version 010102. So now if I am going to click on, okay, let's save as into 03 so that you can better understand. Okay, there will be a check-in checkout option, right? Check-in checkout option will be there. Save this and then check in back. This is the rule that is already available. This rule is there in version 3, which is checked in. I wanted to modify the rule. What should I do now? What should I do now? I have to click on checkout. I checked out this. So now the one what you are seeing on the screen is a checked out version. What is that? Checked out version or version 010103. That is one version. Checked out version. There will not be any number, but it is a virtual version. Okay. Now rule is already there, created, and it is available. Checked in means in sync with the existing transaction model. Whenever you run, checked in only will be picked. Checkout will not be picked unless you are the current operator. You logged in to PRPC, you execute. For you, checkout rules will be picked. What about others? When they log into the same server, check-in rules only will get picked. Always check-in rules will be picked. For the person who logged in, if I log into PRPC, if I execute a flow, customer details flow action is there. Checked out, little modifications are done. Checked out will be processed. Check-in will not be processed. Anyone else log into same server and when they execute, your checkout changes will not be processed for them. They will be getting only check-in changes. Check-in is server level, checkout is operator level. Understand? Everyone online resources. Clear? So now whenever we are going to check out a rule, what PRPC is going to do, it will create a copy of the rule in editable mode. Suppose you have only one version, 010101 rule is there. You did a checkout. Now PRPC will take the copy of the rule and will create again. That will be there when you are creating a rule. That should be there in a rule set, right? In which rule set it will be created? It will be created in a virtual rule set by operator name. So you have only one version. There is a rule. You check out. Total how many rules are there now? Customer detail section. For example, customer detail section rule is there in version 010101. It is there only one rule. You did a checkout. It will create a copy of the 01, but it is not like 01. It will be within a rule set called operator ID name. So now how many rules are there now? Customer detail section when you check out? Two rules. One is original, one is a copy. Original will be executed for everyone except you. For you always your checked out rule copy will be. You check in back. Check in back means what are you going to do? Take this copy and sync on to the original 01. Understand? Are you able to imagine? Every one of you. Online resources. Online resources, everyone should respond. Okay. You did a checkout means already check-in version is there. Checkout is also there. Even it shows here 010103. It is a copy of 010103 copied into my rule set. That is by my operator ID. Name of the rule set is my operator ID. That rule set is called as personal rule set. What do you call it? Personal rule set. What is meant by personal rule set? Personal rule set is a rule set that gets created when an operator log into PRPC, which will have similar name as operator ID. Now, if you go to operator profile, whenever a rule is being requested by an operator, it will look into the rule sets in the given order. What is the order? LIC application and all. But before all of these, you see one more rule set by operator ID, that is personal rule set. I told you right few minutes back. For you, if you log in, when you execute something, for you always checked out rules will be picked. Because checked out rules are there in your personal rule set. Your personal rule set is the topmost one. Understand everyone? So checkout rule means, checkout means a copy of the existing one in editable mode. Where do you maintain this copy? Without a rule set, no rule exists in Pega mostly, but there are one or two I'll show you later. Okay, so all the rules that you are going to access which have version especially must be there in a rule set. Okay, when you are checking out means you are making a copy of the read only one into editable mode. So where you maintain this copy, you have to maintain the copy into again a rule set. Into which rule set? That is personal rule set. It will be copied, which is a virtual rule set that gets created in the name of your operator ID. When you log in and log off, it will be gone. Gone means you will not be accessing. Checked out rules will be there in that only. Okay, everyone clear? Online resources. Okay, so this is about personal rule set concept and the rule set hierarchy order. What is the rule set hierarchy order? Personal rule set, current application, parent application, organization, parent application, and parent to parent, parent to parent, like that it will go. Okay, so whenever an operator is going to request for any rule by executing anything, PRPC has to decide from which class the rule to be picked and from which rule set the rule to be picked. Also, from which version the rule to be picked also PRPC has to decide. Which version it will pick by default? Highest version, latest and good. Highest version. If you have versions 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all the versions customer details form can be there. When you execute the flow, customer details form 5 will not be taken. Only one should be taken. Which one will be taken? Highest version will be taken. Understand everyone? That is the default concept. And from which rule set it will be taken? First rule set. That it is going to look. Which one is the first rule set? Personal rule set. If not there, then application, current application, first one, second one, organization, parent, like that. Everyone clear about the concept of inheritance and rule set hierarchy? Okay, highest version will be picked.
Harsha?
So in the highest, suppose I have version 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A rule is there in all 5 versions. In the 5th version, we have a circumstanced version again. So which one will be picked then? 5th version. When it encounters to 5th version, when it encounters the rule in 5th version, it will verify whether circumstance version is there or not there. Circumstance is there, it will verify the condition. Condition satisfied, then circumstance one will be picked and processed, else it is going to execute the base rule and process it. Understand? So this process of identifying the right rule to process from the right place, this is an algorithm defined by Pega. This algorithm is called as rule resolution algorithm. What do you call it? Rule resolution algorithm. What is meant by rule resolution algorithm? Rule resolution algorithm is going to decide which rule to be picked. When I say which rule, means from the right place, from the appropriate classes, rule set, versions, and circumstances, and process and present to the requester. This is called rule resolution. Rule resolution algorithm decides which rule to be picked and process based on different criteria. Out of the different criterias, we have already come across with few criteria. What are those criteria? One is inheritance criteria, and the second one is rule set hierarchy and versioning also. Apart from these, circumstance is also one criteria, right? So understanding the rule set inheritance and picking from one of the appropriate classes, understanding the inheritance rule set hierarchy and picking it from the appropriate rule set and version, plus circumstancing also it has to consider and pick. Not only these things, there are other criteria also involved in the rule resolution algorithm which we need to understand. Everyone clear? Online resources. What are the other criteria apart from inheritance, apart from rule set hierarchy and version and rule resolution? There is another criteria which I will tell you. So before we get into other criteria to understand about, okay, let me write down first of all the criteria here for your information. What are those? You tell me. Inheritance, rule set and version, plus circumstance, plus additionally rule availability and operator authorization. And before that, there will be something called rule cache. You know about cache memory? What is meant by cache memory? Cache memory is a RAM kuda temporary memory kada. Mari cache
It
memory
stores data
importance.
it stores the data and useful for reloading any
It avoids
websites.
cache memory అంటే ఏంటండి? టెంపరరీ మెమరీలు చాలా ఉన్నాయి, cache memory ఒకటే కాదు. What is the specific feature of cache memory?
It is a shared memory.
It is a
Shared memory.
what is its main purpose? Avoiding
To speed up the process.
repetitive hit to the original source place that can be achieved by caching. If you're going to do caching, what will be avoided? Repetitive visits to the original place will get avoided. That is the concept of cache wherever you go in the software world. Okay, so if you're going to maintain something in the cache, there is no need to go to the original place. As a result, time will be saved. Of course, it is going to be faster access and all. Okay, see, usually whenever you are going to go through a browser and type, let's say facebook.com, if you have typed, then what will happen? For the first time, if you type, you have to type the entire URL. Second time, if you type only one character, it is going to highlight to show you. Second time, what will happen? For the first time when you type it will be cached in the server somewhere in your machine or something. Second time it is going to go with matching with cache, and then directly it will give you. Simple example. Okay, so rules also will get cached in PRPC. See, I have a rule in 5 versions. First time when I am going to access the rule, PRPC will look into all 5 versions and it has to pick all 5 and decide it has to take the 5th one. Second time, it has to do the same. It has to again pick the 5 and decide which one to take. Third time also it has to do the same. But instead of this, we implement a cache mechanism. First time it will take all 5 versions of the same rule and it will decide, okay, I have to take the 5th one. Second time, what it will do at the first time is, when it decides the 5th one, it will put into cache and process it. Second time, it will look into cache and then process it. So always, whenever a requester is going to request for a rule, process commander looks into cache. The rule is not there in cache. It will go to original place of picking all versions. Out of all versions, based on a number of criteria, it has to find out one best instance and then put that instance into cache, then process it. Second time onwards, no need to go to original place, directly execute from the cache. Understand? That's how PRPC will maintain the rule cache. Now, inheritance, you know, rule set version, you know, circumstance, you know, rule availability and operator authorization. So I will explain you about operator authorization. 8:31 kada. Rule availability I'll explain you. Authorization I can tell you tomorrow. Okay, so rule availability concept we are going to discuss about now. No need to write anything. Video is also available in YouTube channel.